Hi, my name is Plato, and you might know me from my most famous invention, Play-Doh. Anyways, I then have, but seriously though, tis the season for gifts, holidays are upon us, and I got a good gift from one of my friends, Pythagoras, in the form of a bunch of little shapes, in the form of pentagons, triangles, and I also got a gift of a couple of squares as well. Very cool, huh? A bunch of different squares. Pentagons and triangles. Kind of got me wondering, I wonder what I could actually build off of all of these. And I realized I could actually make one large triangle out of 3 individual triangles. And going further, I realized that they could actually combine into a 3-dimensional object, from 2-dimension to 3-dimension. Taking the same cue from triangles, I did the exact same thing for squares. Results in this funky little shape. It looks like a cross. But it is actually made in such a way that I could actually fold each of the different sides up, and the end result is a beautiful little cube. Just like that. Very cool, huh? Very cool. Continuing on that track, revisiting triangles, able to realized I could actually make a bunch, or make a kind of half a star out of a series of 8 different triangles, like this. Kind of looks like half a star. And if I were to fold each of them up, I would then, or the end result will be an octahedron, or what I will call an octahedron, also known as an 8-sided pyramid, just like this. Very cool. Following my other different shapes, got this weird looking, kind of looks like 2 flower patterns. But I assure you that this can be folded up into a brand new little shape that I will dub the dodecahedron. Very, very cool. Very cool. For its 12 sides. And last but not least, you have this weird looking thing. 20 different triangles, all combined into one. Wonder how this could actually be put together. It's actually pretty easy. This one, made out of 20 different triangles, and if I were to combine each of them together, the end result is a very beautiful, aesthetically pleasing icosahedron. Now, why am I showing you all of these? Well, these are what I like to call the Platonic solids. Named them after myself, and they are the only 5 known solids that can be made using some of the most simplest figures or shapes that you can possibly find. Once again, to recap, got the Platonic, or you got the tetrahedron here, cube, octahedron, the dodecahedron, and last but not least, the icosahedron. Very cool. Now, also included within that box that my buddy Pythagoras sent to me, he also sent me a little wand. You see, I'm going to do a little magic trick for you guys. You see all these different shapes? one by one. I'm going to open each and every single one of them up, and you got a little shape inside. An epoxy resin little tetrahedron. Very cool. Isn't that cool? I wonder what else I've got in store. Creating these. Pop this guy open, and you get a very beautiful little box, or a very beautiful looking cube. Isn't that really cool? An epoxy resin cube. Pop this guy off to reveal a very beautiful octahedron. Very, very cool. Yeah. Last two. Bam. A very awesome dodecahedron. Epoxy resin form. Very, very cool, isn't it? And last but not least, the biggest of them all, 20 faces. Pop this guy open to reveal what's inside. An icosahedron. Very, very cool. The biggest of the Platonic solids. And each of these elements in my day were actually used to represent each of the different 5 known elements at this time, or during the time of my life. First was symbolized by red, fire. Fire, one of the most simplest items out there, or one of the simplest. You then have the green cube, which had represented earth in my day. The octahedron, that represented air. The the gold for the dodecahedron, which represented ether back in my day. And last but not least, everyone's favorite, the blue icosahedron represented water as well. Very cool. The 5 main, and what I have for you today is not only the Platonic solids, but also the elements that they represented and their importance that they had. Thank you so much for being here for presentation.